Hello YouTube, Damer_23 here, and welcome back to the Youth Only Challenge with 1860 Munich. Today we have a Champions League final match day game against Spurs as a live com, as it will dictate if we finish first or second in our group. We will of course have the Champions League knockout stage draw, and of course though we have to talk about an injury to one of our key players, and we've also got a lot of interest in the squad. Since we last met, though, YouTube, we have to recap what's been going on in the Champions League and in the league, and the run of form hasn't been too bad. Obviously, we had a bit of rage in episode 49, and, a bit interesting start. And to be quite fair, the run of form has been good, but not as good as last year. Last year, obviously, in the corresponding kind of time frame, we didn't lose a game. We won every game until the break, and even a couple games after the break until we lost to Bayern Munich. Here we've kind of just been a little bit meh. We drew to Cologne 2-2, which I think we recapped last episode as well. There was a 3-3 draw to Mainz, Hanover 3-2 up, as you can see in this game here, and you conceded 2 late goals to nearly throw it away. We also had a game against Fortuna Dusseldorf that we had to struggle through. Hoffenheim only won 1-0, we dominated, and then the Dortmund game, yet again, it's another one of these games that I look at this Dortmund system and team and go, I cannot beat it no matter what I do. They just play this narrow system. I can't deal with it no matter if it's the 4-4-2 or the 4-3-3. I can't do a thing against it. As you can see by the stats though, one less shot than they had, one less shot on target, similar XG, and we have not scored against them again, which is crazy. We then obviously played Union Berlin and went on a little bit more of a run of form before drawing to Leipzig. But a lot of this, even though it's been good form, don't get me wrong, it's great form, is we've had so many chances to put teams away, we haven't. Dusseldorf, Hanover, we could have been 5 or 6 goals up. Hamburg, we scored a couple of goals and it took, an age to score the second 86th. Frankfurt as well was a 1-0 win from Dino. Yet again, just not enough goals coming in two very hyper-aggressive systems that, focus so much on scoring a lot of goals. And that is hallmarked by the league and how it's going. So I haven't checked this in a little bit if we go to the stats and team detailed, but it's worth having a look. We go to goals and we go to goals per game, or expected goals per game, we ranked 4th highest with 32.47. We've only scored 30 goals. Now, the most time it works on Football Manager is that you usually outperform your goals expected for a season by about 10. Right, and if you take Bayern, for example, scoring 52, their XG is 39. Hertha Berlin scored XG is 34.5, and they've got 39. Dortmund is on 38 and 33. We're on 32 and 30. If you want to go back to seasons past, we've always been about 8 to 10, 12 goals even ahead of what our XG is meant to be. And you think about it, how many times do you win a game 4-0 on FM? Your XG is 1.9, but you've scored 4, And how many times on FM do you have an XG of 3.41 and only win a game 1-0? Not many. That happened to me against Hoffenheim, I believe it was. I want to venture a guess. Was that Hoffenheim last night on last night's stream, guys? We'll have a quick little look. There you go. See? Right in the memory bank. I can't explain why this is, and the fact they missed a late corner was ridiculous because I thought we're getting FM'd. But this is the sort of game that makes me worried about this Spurs game, and it's the sort of game that's made me worried about all year. If we can't score goals, our systems are prone to concede. Now, the main reason they're prone to concede is they're super duper high pressing, heavy metal football. They're crazy. It's absurd. It's next level. And what happens is in games we get tired, as you would, and you can see goals later in games. That does happen. I get that. But by that stage in games, in that run of form where we didn't lose a game for 7 hours and 15 minutes on stream, we would 4-0 up by the time that happened. Yeah, concede one, no, not a problem. What I have been doing has been switching into a 4-3-3 that's a little bit more, defensively solid, so to say. And I am looking at a 4-2-3-1 that maybe could be a blend of two, but we'll wait and we'll see. Last thing I want to speak about is this boy, James Margetts, unfortunately, has done a long-term injury. He's torn his abdominal muscles, out for 2 to 3 months when it happened, and he's 2 months away from being fit. He hasn't been scoring. He is not a consistent striker. Currently out with an injury, which is not good. And the fact he's not consistent, he misses so many chances. It's getting to a stage where last season was a bit of an outlier where he scored goals. And you got to remember, he scored goals first half of the year, first 3 quarters of the year. When push came to shove and we needed to win a title, he didn't bag. So I honestly think if we're looking here at goals, he's only scored 3 and 11. This year in the Champions League, 3 games, 2 goals isn't bad. I just haven't had the, what was I going to say, the returns I should. And then if you compare him to what Darcy Hart's been doing, who has been the third choice striker, who is consistent as a performer, nowhere near as good as a striker. He's only got 4 and 8, which is okay, but he's been playing on the fringes. But in the Champions League, he has 5 goals in 5 games. How are you, mother? Good to see you. Not really. He's also got 14 goals in 15 games. And look, I hope against Spurs, Darcy Hart will perform. Now, let's talk about the team here. Spurs do have 3 guys out. And let's talk about what we're going to select. So James Margette's obviously out for Darcy Hart. Krug needs to make the bench here, obviously, to be a striker option. And I'm going to take out Alexander Burden. And Margette's doesn't make that spot. So I'll just put in a guy in spot 8. And that's probably going to be your team. Is that have people interested, obviously, in boys. Lovett's wanted by City and Barcelona as a 500 mil release fee. Alcides wanted by Man United, 500 mil release fee. Sully wanted by Como, don't care. Hernandez wanted by Atletico Madrid. We're actually praying for this one. He's just not good enough, man. Like, he's good enough on paper, but form-wise, forget it. Rudy just tied him down to a new deal. And Kismer's wanted by Lil and Mates. And, I may do it. But the big one is Brito. Brito's wanted by half the world. If there was a way I could play this guy week in, week out, I would, because he always averages over a 7, especially his last 2 years. Did play a lot of games last season because of injuries, played unreal in the Champions League last year. I would love to play him more, but one of those guys that seems to just do well. But in terms of on paper, not in my best. But yeah, we got interest a lot of places, obviously, for a lot of guys, and I'm not going to sell anytime in the not too distant future. Now, lastly, of course, this is a bit of a recap video. So, Damien, how have you just gone in the Champions League? Very easily put. We've won every game but Spurs. In saying that, though, without showing you goals, because we do have a live com, this Olympiacos game was definitely not easy. We went 1-0 down. It may look easy, but this Olympiacos side has actually got some talent. There's names you know. There's Hadji's out there. They've got a very older back four with guys that have played international football. And the guy that came off the bench is not a regen. Their regen scored against him. Must have been the second game. And he's not bad looking either. Villarreal, we beat home and away 3-0. They actually had a red card in that game, Villarreal, and then at home, we did play the 4-3-3, I reckon. And we actually, for once, decided to actually be clinical, which was great. And then Olympiacos, we beat at home in an absolute thriller in the 4-3-3 where I rotated. We obviously lost to Spurs, and this was the tail of the tape. It was one of those games that you look at, you play the 4-3-3, you go, if you're clinical, you win. You're not clinical, you lose. You went 1-0 down to this guy here, who I'm hoping is not playing, but probably will be because he's absolutely unreal, was Jordi Solanas, their key player. They're managed by Jurgen Klopp, by the way, Spurs. A weird old world we live in. And then Moro with a penalty. Alfie Devine, who is injured for today, at least for Spurs, obviously did score as well later doors. But yet again, it's another one of where this system is a bit hit and miss for me at the minute. It's a great system when you score first and score early, because then teams come out against you, you punish them, you press them, and you pick them off, and you score 4 or 5 or 6. Great. But when you don't score early, or if you go behind and then you don't retake the lead by the 70th minute, you're just in trouble. But when it got to the 77th minute and they scored the third, our boys were out on their feet. So I don't know if that's a pressing thing. I'm actually tempted to move to a system that actually has less pressing and sit really deep and just play, not on the break, but play a system just like, all right, regroup, hold shape, whatever, don't concede, we'll score a goal eventually with the quality we have. Let me know if you think that might be an option for the future YouTube. And, of course, my Twitch chat, because we are live and links are down below. Anyway, they have 4 players out injured. Their 4 players out injured is Regulon, Vanderson, Alfie Devine, and Tim Ronning. I still don't believe Jurgen Klopp's here. Like, what's his history like? Like, milestones. Liverpool manager, fired. I know that. Went to Inter, won Serie A coach, and then went to Spurs to live in England. Right, interesting. I think if Klopp left Liverpool, he would retire. Anyhow, in terms of the group, we're already through the group. We're already qualified for the knockout stage. It's just about if we can do the business here. And we are going to play the 4-4-2 because I think out of the 4-3 and the 4-4-2, this system is the system that will obviously help us, I think, be more defensively solid. Artis is, of course, in goals. Lovett, Rosario, and Alcides with Sully at left back. Umholt could play. He wants to play more minutes. Not this game, but he played the next one. Kisma, Rudy, Dino, and Hernandez. We have to give a big shout out to Dino. He's already got 9 goals from the middle of the park. Seems to just be loving life at the minute, Dino. EH and Hart up top. EH not been in the greatest form, and Hart has been in unreal form, and hopefully it continues today. All right, here we go. We have obviously refreshed the squad in terms of rotating, and they have lined up with no Joel Solanas. He's not started. Dane Scarlett starting. That's a rotated team than when we last played them. We'll definitely have a look at them though, YouTube, for you. And of course, my Twitch chat. My Twitch chat though. Score prediction in the chat. JS, always lovely to see you, buddy. So Livakovic, obviously people know Livakovic. Tanganga starting. That's the one we got a target on the right-hand side there. Their right-hand side, our left side. Christian Romero and Kunde with Yosko. Yeah, great. Nelsinho getting a start. Brazilian DM. That also is a centre-back. Lorenzo Pellegrini at 34. Perez, a 23-year-old Spaniard. Amad Diallo, I believe he played for Man United, didn't he not? Raul Moro, and then Dane Scarlett, he's a very good striker, but there we are. So Solanas didn't even make the bench. He must not be fit. Maybe he just has a slight niggly lock. Their bench is not particularly great. Nkuku is on the bench. We'll have a look at Nkuku. Yeah, had a good career. 61 caps for France. Did well. Patrick Berg as well, the elite midfielder. Nice. Doesn't have as much speed. And Angel still looks absolutely fantastic as well. And this would be their backup keeper. Yeah, man, if Livakovic could get injured, then him in goals, I'd back us to win. I'm looking forward to it. Hoping we can produce today. Reece Artist starts again, no doubt. Looking to continue his vein. His rich vein of form. I will say, I don't know what it is. If it wasn't for Reece Artist, we'd be in some trouble. Yeah, we have a one-kid goalkeeper and Aaron Jose. Who is fantastic, but Artis just doesn't concede at the minute. I'm hoping today he continues that, but there we are. If it shows you the group, I'll quickly rattle off how the table looks. It will. We're obviously 3 points behind. Goal difference is very close, 9-12, so a 2-0 win for us would put us level, and we have more goals than them, so that would put us through, and it would also go down to results against teams as well. I don't know if that's worked out at aggregate or just the fact if you win, then they work it out. I'm not sure. Anyhow, look, let's just win the game and then work out if we're top or not. This way that we have not scored goals, I'm just getting through the group here, but we'll wait and we'll see. Anyway, 16 minutes played. We've been much better than the team. 4 shots, 4 on target, no highlight. This has been what's been happening here. YouTube, games where we've done this and then 5 shots, 5 on target, no highlight. It's good. It's good. Don't worry, it's good. It's good. Highlight here though, that's fine. Sully. Like the 4-4-2 for me will work. It just, need to score. Hearts offside, don't bother. Well, we did score, yay, but it's going to be disallowed for offside. It's going to go back to 0-0 here. Going to go back to 0-0. Time to stress drink. I wish he was on. Unfortunately, he's not. Yep. Because a win here would be huge. Anyway. We've played unbelievably well here in Spurs. Here at Spurs, here in England. 6 shots, 6 on target. Not a goal. Not a highlight, apart from the offside highlight as well. Nelsinho now. Finds Lorenzo Pellegrini, finds Tanganga, and Amad Diallo is quick enough to cause issues. Pellegrini, Diallo, Tanganga getting forward, which is not a bad thing if we win the ball, because we could probably zip them on the break. But Lorenzo Pellegrini from distance puts one wide and high and not at all handsome. That was your highlight. Underwhelming game in terms of highlights, but there's another one here as Nelsinho puts a ball in and they're 1-0 up. That's not offside, and this just sums up how it's been going. It's another game where we've absolutely played well. The stats dictate we've had the better of the game. The stats dictate that's offside? No way. Okay, live it looked like he was definitely level. But there we are. All right, well, it's back to 0-0, so it's not all panic stations, but have a look at this. 6 shots, 6 on target in a half. I would expect us to score. Far from pleased. We'll stay in this system. At some point, I'm going to have to go to the 4-3-3, though, to try and find a goal. And it is a highlight for us. Backstick ball. Rosario's not there. And it should be Hernandez on it. He finds Sully. I just think the 4-4-2 is more defensively solid. I'm just going to shut up and not commentate highlights anymore. Every time I say something good about a system, the opposite happens. Anyway, Sully, Alcides. Rosario, Alcides. Sully. Need to find feet. Finds Iyich. Kisma. I love the centre forward dropping in to pick up balls. Good ball to Dino. He's been in goal-scoring form. It's a great challenge. Just can't score a goal, man. I don't know what it is. Send help. If you can score goals on FM, let me know. Because I don't know if it's the players that is the issue. Or it's the tactics I use. No matter what system I use. 9 shots, 7 here. We can't find a goal. I do have to switch into the 4-3-3, unfortunately. But that's kind of what we got to do here. Hernandez is actually going to come off. I prefer Iyich. He's been in better form. Plays in better winger on attack. And I'm going to get Christopher Schumacher into there. And I reckon Kismore out and Zeddy is going to come in also as an inverted winger, but on support to help build up play on that left-hand side. We're going to make 2 changes like that. Bang. All right, can we find a goal, please? Switch into the 4-3-3. See what happens. Not much going on. We'll get Brito at right back to maybe provide some overlapping run. Doesn't look like top in the group here, boys. We've absolutely dominated Spurs. And we are facing a corner and a header and a backstick one that they should have scored. I just don't understand how we've had 11 shots, 7, and we can't score a goal. 88 minutes played. Is there going to be late drama? More for Spurs than us. Ball in. Effort's been blocked. Raul Moro again. Hart. Ball's here. I had 2 guys presenting, man. All they have to do is play feet on the break and they go long. And Lorenzo Pellegrini's now in and hits the post. Wow. A 0-0 in England, which I guess if you looked at the 2 teams, yeah, great result. But that is the difference between us topping the group and not. 14 shots on target, 7 shots on target. I only saw an offside highlight and a highlight where a shot was blocked, and they've had 10 shots won. Send help. I can't score goals on Football Manager. If someone knows how to score goals on Football Manager, please let me know. Because no matter how many chances, how good my XG is, and how many shots on target we get, we just don't seem to score. Hoffenheim, 3.49 XG, only a 1-0 win. We are a team that should be world class when it comes to finishing in front of goals. We're a team not even 3 days ago were scoring a load of goals last season. This season, even though our numbers aren't bad, we just cannot find a way to finish and convert a chance. YouTube, and I'll see you guys in a second, it's going to be for the Champions League knockout stage draw. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say this. Do not expect me to make a semi-final, and do not expect any sort of heroics. Expect a tough draw. Expect a draw even if we're in the game for us to probably get done. Because in the Champions League, if you don't take your chances, you're going to end up getting a loss. Semi-final last year, anyone? Let's just see if it's going to be the first round or not. Welcome back, YouTube. Time for the first knockout round draw. Unlike last year where we won every game in the group, we obviously did not beat Spurs in over 2 games, so we are second and we are not seeded for this group. Side note, we have been offered a new deal, even though I personally think that we've been very lucky to still be 4th in the league. Yet again, another game here against Wolfsburg. We changed system. A 1-0 win with 17 shots and 9 on target. If you know how to score goals on FM, please put it in the comment section. Because it's getting to a stage where I actually think we're going to go on a run where we lose a lot of games 2-1, where we've had 30 shots a game. I'm waiting for the day we go on a run, we lose 10 straight and I get the sack. But anyway, we digress. Champions League, we can't get buy-ins. So the teams we can get are Inter, City, United, Milan, Real Madrid, Spurs, we can't get either. So Juve, so just to recap, Inter, City, United, Milan, Real Madrid or Juve. If I want to get through the next round, I want Milan, Juve or Inter. If we get United, City or Real Madrid, we're probably going to be up against it. First out the hat is Galatasaray, who got out their group. Very well done to them. They get Milan, so that's not good. Barcelona get Man City and PSG get Spurs. Okay, so PSG didn't top a group somewhere. They're defending champions and their team stacked, so that shocks me. Monaco gets Inter, and now the only team I think we could beat in this draw is Juve. Dortmund get Real Madrid. At the moment, it is Juve or United. 1860 Munich do get Juve, so we do luck out. Now, you might be saying, Damien, why do you think you're lucking out when you're playing Juventus, who are currently top? And, that... Just historically put at SFB, we played them about 8 times in the Champions League or the Europa League. We knocked them out of the Europa League quarterfinal. We went on to win it. And I think the other 3 ties where we played them over in the Champions League was all first knockout rounds in a quarterfinal. We knocked them out every single time. So I just think, I don't know what it is, but FM seem to program teams harder than others on Football Manager. I just don't know what it is, but Italian teams, knockout stage of the Champions League, you never end up seeing them ever win it. And you never end up seeing them do well in the knockout stage. So I just think getting Juve, historically, with how Football Manager goes, that's a tie that wouldn't make us favourites, but a tie that if we can get a system that is scoring and will not concede, obviously, as well, I think that's a game that is favourable for us and a tie we can get through. Next episode is going to be that Juve game, I do believe. We will obviously, hopefully, have a system that's scoring in, and who knows, maybe Paulie's 4-2-3-1, his link's down below, as always, YouTube in the description. Maybe a system that we will continue to build upon. But until then, I'll see you next time for any transfer drama in next episode. And, of course, all the goodness of the 1860 Youth Challenge. It's going to be Juve, first round of the Champions League. Not the easiest, but definitely wasn't the hardest. And we'll see what we can do next time here with Munich.